objective of this third video is to show you how to log in to the SAP BPC Excel Addin interface, create a new connection, and navigate around the SAP EPM Addin interface. The first thing we need to do is open Excel, and once BPC has been installed, you will see that there are two new tabs on the Excel ribbon. One is EPM, and the second is Data Manager. We will look at these in more detail after logging onto the system. In order to log on to BPC, we need to choose the EPM tab and click on the Login button. A window will appear asking you for a connection. Select the ellipses. Connections are settings in the system, which allow us to log on to specific environments and models. For the purpose of this training, we will be using one environment called Virtual Training and one main model called Finance. If you have already created a connection to the Finance model, you will be able to reuse this connection without having to create a new one each time you log in. For those that have not yet created a connection, this is how it is done. Click on the Create button, and a window will pop up asking for some information. The first of which is what is your connection type. The options are SAP NetWeaver platform, one for the Microsoft platform, and one is local, which will allow you to connect to a BW component. The Opal Wave system we are working on is the planning and consolidation, the version for SAP NetWeaver. This is the default setting, so there should be no need to change it. Next, we will need to complete the server URL, which is the web address for the BPC server. This should be made available by your BPC administrator. Once this has been filled in, you will then click on the Connect button. Then you must enter your username and password for BPC. The environments and models which you have security access for will then become available for selection. Each environment model combination will be a single connection, so you could end up with a long list. For our training, we will have access to one environment called Virtual Training, and a main model, which is Finance. There are many other environments and models, but we will create only one connection on the environment and model as previously discussed. Once you have selected your environment and model, you can then click on Generate Connection Name. This will populate the connection name. Finance-Virtual Training has been generated. You are able to name the connection anything you would like in order to make it easier to understand what you are connecting to. Once you have clicked on the OK button, the next connection will be added to your list of connections. The buttons on the right-hand side allow you to edit your connection. If, for example, you wanted to change the name, or delete the connection if you have created it with the wrong connection type. Another way of creating a connection is by duplicating a connection and then editing it. This is very useful, as it will copy over all the settings in the connection you copy. You can also set a default connection. In our case, this would be advisable, as we have only one main connection. Therefore, if we click on the Log On button, it would pre-populate the connection, and we would not need to select a connection. Select the connection and then click OK. You will need to retype your username and password for BPC. You will know that you have logged into BPC, as you will notice that some of the items on the EPM ribbon are no longer grayed out. And on the right-hand side, we have what is known as the EPM pane, and at the top, EPM context. The EPM context shows each dimension within the finance model. These dimensions are specific to the model you are logged into: account, audit trail, category, customer, entity, interco, product, RPT currency, time, and measures. All of these dimensions will have an impact on reporting and what data is shown in your report. It is important to know what each one is used for and what members are in each dimension. To view the members within the dimension, you can click on the drop-down arrow. When first opening BPC, this list will have no members listed except for Select Other Members. Once you start reporting, this list will give you the last 5 selections you made for easy selection. Most BPC dimensions are built using hierarchies, which means we can easily navigate around them by using the plus and minus signs. Once you have found your member, make sure it is highlighted and then click OK. You will notice the member selected is now appearing in the context. For reporting, this member is now referred to as the EPM context member for that specific dimension. This will be very useful when we are building dynamic reports in BPC. The EPM pane shows you your current data connection. The plug icon shows you your current connections. If you would like to disconnect from the connection without logging out of BPC, you can just click on the plug icon and it will disconnect you. It will only disconnect you if no other reports are open using that connection. This also gives you the ability to change your connection if needed by selecting another connection. The EPM pane is one of the ways in which to create a report by dragging and dropping the dimensions into the relevant axes. Let's look at the EPM ribbon in more detail. I will highlight the main functionality used. The other functionality will be covered when it becomes relevant. We have the Log On and Log Off button. We have a Reports section which helps with building reports. We can open reports, either the ones you have saved locally or templates from the BPC server. This is done through Open Server root folder. This will give you access to a library where, for example, you can see a folder called Reports and a subfolder called 10 Financial Statements. These contain reports such as a profit and loss or balance sheet statement. These reports would have been built by the BPC administrator for your usage. You can save reports locally, or if you have the correct security settings, you can save them to the BPC server. One thing to note is, wherever you see a tiny black arrow, this means that there are further buttons available beneath the main menu icon. Another way of creating a report in BPC is by clicking on the New Report button. This opens the EPM report editor, which gives us a range of further functionality which can apply to our reports. The most important button in BPC is the Refresh button. This will enable you to pull data back from the BPC server once you have created your report. You can see that the black arrow is available on the Refresh button. Select the arrow so you can see the additional buttons. The icon of the main button shows you, if you were to select it, it would carry out the task of Refresh Spreadsheet. Options you can see allow you to refresh the whole workbook or refresh selected data. The other options give you the ability to directly type a member, either the ID or the description, into a cell in Excel, and it will be recognized and a report will be created. We have the Data Analysis section, which gives us the ability in the report to drill down or drill up the hierarchy in the dimensions. It also gives us the ability to keep or exclude a member from the report. Data Input section allows us to save data to the system. This is only available if we have created an input form. As you can see, it is currently grayed out and the functionality cannot be used. The Collaboration section is for book publication. where you can put together a number of reports which BPC will collate and send out via email to the relevant people. The Tools section is where we can set all of our report options. This enables us to specify the behavior of the report depending on certain selections. For example, do we want to see empty rows or should they be suppressed? There are many options relating to formatting, refreshing, and protection. We will look at these in more detail in the next video. Offline mode gives us the ability to take a report offline to send to someone who does not have BPC installed. The Show Pane and Context button turns on and off the EPM pane and context. The About button shows which version of BPC is installed, and the Help button will take you to the web-based SAP BPC help file. This is the end of the third video on SAP BPC EPM Addin login and navigation. In the next video, you will learn how to create a basic report using the EPM Addin Excel interface. I hope this video tutorial has been helpful.